everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside. And by golly, we're ready for another big championship wrestling action.
I tell you, ready is right. We're going to have 8-man tag team action coming up a little bit later on today. Here's some of the folks that are going to be in the ring.
Yeah,
Stan Lane, Eric Embry, our first look at him, Steve Kern, and Robert Gibson on one side. On the other, Luke Graham, the Dream Machine, the Monk, and the Angel with J.R. Hart.
Is that a large team, to say the very least, man?
Over 1,000 pounds. Over 1,000 pounds for that one team.
Bout.
That's right. Also, separate single matches coming up today with the Dutchman, Dutch Mantell, and the King, Jerry Lawler. Lots of other stuff, too.
We got plenty of highlights, and I'll tell you, you'll enjoy those, too. We're going to get it all in. Let's do it right now. We'll be back with action in just a moment. They're standing right here with the one and only superstar from Australia, Bill Dundee. Billy, how's the arm doing?
Well, Lance, it ain't doing too good, and I don't feel too super today. Well, about last week sometime I called Eddie Marr, and I said, Eddie, I think this thing's ready to go. Well, that was just me jumping the gun. I just wanted it to be ready. I went back to the doctor, and he said, well, just go down to the gym, son, and try and lift the smallest weight that's in there, and I couldn't even pick it up. So the wrestling's out for a little while. I don't think I could beat the prettiest little girl in there. I don't think I could climb in that ring and beat her. So, if, you know, my name's anywhere around the country and you see it, brother, I'm just sorry I ain't going to be able to be there.
I had made the comment at the time, Bill, that ligaments and muscles like that, anybody that's ever experienced anything knows how long it goes. And I know in your own mind, boy, you were ready to go, but it's just a question that Mother Nature sometimes puts the halt on it where you're not going to be able to maybe go as quick as you can. I'm sorry about that.
Well, that's right, Lance. I used to just, you know, I don't know, you get hurt in the next couple of days, it would be all right, but I guess maybe I'm getting older, Lance. I don't know. But it just ain't coming the way it
Bill,
should be.
if we can hold up for just 1 second, what I would like to do in just a moment, we'll have a tape up, because I think a lot of the people, maybe most of the championship wrestling fans, saw the incident that took place with your shoulder, and painful as your shoulder is, it may be painful to relive it. But I did, in fact, want to try to go back and recapture that moment exactly when it happened, and I know you're all too familiar with exactly what happened on it. And the doctor is what? It's going to be kind of a do as you can when you can lift the weights up and get going?
Yeah, that's just what he said. He said, Bill, you just got to play it by ear. You just got to go to the gym and try and do what you do, stay in the hot tub or just whatever it takes. So basically, I've been going to the gym, but I've just been sitting in the hot tub, and it's starting to feel a little better, but I can't really do nothing with it. So it's just, I don't know, just whenever it fixes itself.
Well, it unfortunately, a lot of people think in terms of, well, that you didn't break your shoulder, you didn't break your arm, but I think you will find that a lot of times that medical people will say, in fact, that it would have been easier and maybe less time if you had have broken it, because of the fact that ligaments are very difficult. When you strain and tear them like that, okay, Bill, we're not going to be able to have the tape to show the incident. Maybe later in the program we'll be able to get it up. I know from all the wrestling fans, I want to extend the best to you and sure hope that you'll be back as quick as you can. And I think everybody will understand that while you thought you were going to be ready to go, as of right this week, it's going to be a little while longer.
That's about it, Lance. I appreciate it.
Okay, Bill. Thanks to you, partner. Good luck to you, Billy. I'll tell you what we'll do is take time out. We'll be back with more championship wrestling in just one moment. Back to Channel 3's championship wrestling action. Going to be to it in just a moment. Big card Tuesday right there in the Louisville Gardens, including 2 title matches, a Southern Tag Title Championship, with Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Brown Sugar defend against Steve Kern and Robert Gibson. And then the Monster War, Southern Heavyweight Title match. Jerry the King Lawler and Dutch Mantell. Don't miss a moment of the action coming up a little later. Well, Jimmy, in addition to that Louisville Tuesday night, you are going to be along in the ring along with JR.
Well, let me just say something before I say about that match now. You know, Billy Dundee, everybody's going, what happened to Bill Dundee? You know, the fans are crying and we're crying. Look at all this crying towel. We've been crying all over the place worrying about him, man. I'm even wearing my Billy Superstar Dundee mourning button for him, man. Let me tell you something, Kern. You are lost without Dundee. Dundee, and we're going to keep him away from the ring forever, baby. He will never be back. I don't care who you get. You can get the Gibson brothers, Stan Lane. You can bring in poor old Eddie Marlin if you want to, but it's not going to do any good because we, the family, are as safe as we were in the vault of Fort Knox. And talking about gold, look at this gold right here on this belt. Tell them, beautiful.
You know, Steve Kern, you done put yourself in the hands of two vultures. And when I say vultures, I'm talking about Sweet Brown Sugar and Beautiful Bobby Eaton, the Southern Tag Team belts. Now, you're out here talking and telling all the people that you took all the punishment that Sweet Brown Sugar and myself could give you. Well, when you said that, you put yourself in a man's place because we're just going to see how much punishment you could take in Louisville Gardens.
Okay, we're going to be looking for Lawler and Mantell coming up right there in the Gardens Tuesday night. The action will be hot and heavy, and you be sure and get it.
You know, I've been running just a little bit here because we're getting in shape because, like you said earlier, we're in the ring, baby. That's right.
Handicap
the first
match.
family handicap. I'm tired of fighting handicaps. We had to fight Lawler. He's a handicap. I'm trying to lure Dundee in the ring now with his broken arm because I know I can whip him now, baby. Me and J.R. Jr., we are ready. I hope you're going to be ready.
Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens. You'll see it all. Robert Gibson. Let's take a look. Boy.
But sure, you can see right now Jimmy Hart trying to distract the referee's attention, and he's doing it quite well. I said before with Kern and Gibson working on one part of the body, weakening the leg, that it's going to take something by Hart, and Hart finally found his opening and was able to execute it to perfection, distracting the referee's attention, and now they're being able to get a chance to take over on Steve
This
Kern.
commentary was done, this particular one, was a guest commentator that I had, Steve O, professional wrestler who was injured. Steve was in town and agreed to come in and sat in with us. Be interesting to hear some of his comments about the action. The first 25% of the time limit, a quarter of the time limit gone, 45 minutes left, and Kern still battling back. But Beautiful Bobby in the ring now. Grabs the hair of Steve Kern, and Kern swinging away, double team. Robert Gibson torn between the fires. And I know this is an experience that every good tag wrestler goes through, Steve. He didn't like the fact they were double teaming him, but he didn't want to come in the ring and not be available in the event Kern got over for a tag. He wasn't really sure for just a moment what to do.
Well, that's true. There's certain situations that come up in the match where you want to go in and help your partner, but if you do run in to help him, you lose that opportunity to make a tag, and you don't want the other opponents to run roughshod over your opponent in that event too. So you have to really be able to know your opponent's limits and his abilities to be able to work as a successful tag team. Right now you can see Eaton and Brown Sugar have been working together quite well, distracting the referee, knowing when to move in an opponent, when to tag out, trying to keep fresh. You can see him now using quick tags, trying to wear down on Kern. I don't know if they'll be able to keep it up on him for very long because he's a very gritty competitor. You just can't wear down Steve Kern. He is going to get up. It's just a matter of time.
You hear it from a former championship partner of Steve Kern, testifying to that amazing physical conditioning. Uh-oh. Now you see Hart over here distracting referee Paul Morton. Brown Sugar had Hart's cane, wailed him in the back while the referee was caught with Hart on this side of the ring right over here. And there is a perfect example of that first family strategy. Nothing to be admired, but extremely successful when administered properly, and Hart is the master at knowing how to do it. Brown Sugar making a mistake, showing off, and he spit on Kern. Look out. Steve Kern, a whale of a personable guy, but he's got a fuse that is awful short when it comes to personal humilities.
I think that would have to be true with just about all professional wrestlers. The fuse there is a short one. When you get into a match of this importance, you do not want to be humiliated in front of the people. And I don't think there you have another example of distracting the referee. Jimmy Hart using everything, all his tools to his advantage.
He's battling his way back. Oh, and Brown Sugar just decked Robert Gibson on the concrete. Fires him into a ring post. Hart out of his chair. Referee gets Brown Sugar back. 1, 2, and Kern had eaten in a small package.
couldn't get him in a 3 count, though. Got a 2 count out of it. And Robert Gibson, cheap shot by Eaton. Nailed Robert, who is trying to help his partner out by being ready for a tag. Referee Paul Morton clearing something out of the ring. Kern on his knees. Fires a foot out, but he's still a whole side of the ring away from Robert Gibson. Beautiful Bobby over there. 21 minutes and 15 seconds into the action. 21-15, and Brown Sugar and Eaton have been able to keep Steve Kern tied up for quite some time. No small feat. We've never taken a thing away from the wrestling ability of both Eaton and Sugar, only the tactics of the first family. Crowd getting in behind Steve Kern. And here comes Eaton, but that gives Sugar a chance. Can't take advantage of it as Kern is flailing away with that right hand. Down goes Sugar, and Kern to his face. Steve has been in there much too long. Just perseverance by Eaton and Sugar to keep him out of that corner. They do not want the fresher Robert Gibson to take over. Tag on Robert. But Hart was over-distracting the referee. Robert Gibson. Beautiful drop kick. Another one. Robert into it. Slips in behind Eaton. Rolls him up. Can he get them all down? One. Sugar over the top.
In a lot of people's mind that was kind of an intentional move in there, but that's one that you'd never be able to prove anything else. We'll take time out. Be back. Action coming up in a moment. Characterized 2 tough guys. What? Mantel and Lawler get together. We have characterized 2 tough guys. Brother, if you don't think that isn't true, take a look at this action.
Dutch gives away 7 to 10 pounds to Lawler in their meetings. Dutch may have a tad more quickness. Lawler a little bit more size. Look out, here he comes. Lawler takes a shot from Mantell and another one from behind. As Mantell just swinging wide open. Slams Lawler into the ring post. Uh-oh, he's coming out to the timer's table. Picks up a chair. Nails Lawler with it. Well, they said anything goes. Lawler bounced off the timer's table right in front of us. The Dutchman picks that chair up again. Lawler nailed. Back up in the audience. Uh-oh. Lawler muscling Mantell back toward the ring. Clips him one. Once again, Mantell nails Lawler with a chair. And let me tell you, Dutch wants that title any way he can get it. Makes no bones about it. Well, there you see it, the big suplex from Mantell on Lawler. One of the great attributes, and Lawler almost got caught with a 3 count. Coming up, and Lawler hammers Mantell into the turnbuckle. Here comes the king. In their last meeting, Lawler opened a severe cut. And Lawler going after Mantell with that chair. The referee trying to take it away. Almost lost a hand. Referee Calhoun trying to do his job. Oh, no. Lawler had the steps, and the referee able to stop him from taking him over at Mantell. Dutch off the deck. And they're trading licks right at the ring post. Oh, boy. Everything we expected and more. Pile driver. Remember, no rules governing that in this match. They both agreed. Throw them all out the window. Mantell. Big knee. As 10 minutes just went up on the board in this match. Steve, a pleasure to have you here at ringside with us. And boy, this has been, like I said, more than everybody expected.
I'll tell you, Lance, you sure can't tell which match is the main event tonight. I can tell you the electricity is just running right through the arena. The people are into this match more than I've ever seen a group of people get into it. These two men are like two gladiators just dishing it out left and right with every punch and knocking them off their feet. I can't believe how much punishment I've seen them take.
You know, Steve, I think one of the things here that even in a normal match, neither one of these guys would maybe be able to take it, but the emotions between the two of them is so high, with Lawler having defeated Mantell most recently for the title. But prior to that, the Dutchman took the vaunted king and won the title from him. Lawler the champion now, Mantell back in the challenger role, and I think they're both just charged higher than a kite.
Well, you can sure tell this is one of the wildest matches I've ever seen. Right now they're fighting all the way up through the crowd into the arena.
Oh.
No disqualification.
The bout, no. The referee is stopping the match. You can bet in this anything goes match that it is a serious infraction that finds Lawler and Mantell. Steve, I believe they are all the way up into the second tier.
I can see it right now. I think they're bringing out the wrestlers trying to break them apart. I think right now they are oblivious. Lawler and Mantell are oblivious to what the other people are doing. You can see right now, I think they're just trying to get after each other. They're practically pulling each other's hair out.
Well, of course, the stopping of the match secures again the belt around Lawler's waist. But let me tell you, this is unbelievable. Up in the second deck of the match, I don't know how much you can see. as they are amongst the throngs up there. Every now and then we'll see a head fly back, a fist fly. We see Roy Rogers, Rick McCord, several other wrestlers trying to pull them apart. Danny Davis up there, Lawler's manager. They're trying to get the crowd cleared out. Lawler right back after Mantell. Oh, boy, I will tell you, this is something. Jerry Lawler, Dutch Mantell, in a bizarre, wild street battle all over the Mid-South Coliseum. And they just continue to hammer at each other. They cannot get him stopped.
Boy, when they left the wrestling area down there, Dutch, they stopped the match. The referee had no choice when you guys got up battling amongst the crowd.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say one thing. This thing has went far enough. Now, I'm going to say one thing about Jerry Lawler, and you said it right, Lance. I flat don't like that guy. I don't like him from bottom of his feet to top of his head. I don't like him. And we've had some brawls. I had the belt, you know, back and forth. Then he got it, then I got it back. Now, it means so much to him, and Jerry Lawler is the big king around here. And everybody, I think a lot of people like to see the king get knocked off one time, but get knocked all the way down to the ground, because it's like the Super Bowl when Pittsburgh and Dallas was in it all the time. People said the same old guys in it. Well, buddy, Lawler, your time has come, and you found a guy that's going to put pressure on you, and I'm going to kick your teeth in before it's all over with, Lawler. Mark my words. And I got an offer here to offer Jerry Lawler, the big king, right? I got an offer if he wants to go for it. I looked on the sheet, and I'm supposed to wrestle somebody like David Price or somebody. I beat him 100 times. 100 times, and there's no need getting in the ring and beating somebody you've beaten before. There's no contest to it, and there's no challenge to it. And Jerry Lawler, I saw his name down here against somebody, and whoever the guy he's wrestling, I never heard of, and it's a complete joke. So what I would like to offer Jerry Lawler is a proposition. I don't think the place is big enough for both of us, and I'd like to do something never before done. And I want to have a match with Jerry Lawler right here on TV. But right today, wait a minute, I'm not through. Right here on TV today, so it don't cost the people one single dime to see it. Right here on TV for the Southern Belt. But let's go one step farther. Let's go for all the marbles, everything there is. Loser, leave town. On TV. No, wait a minute.
No, wait a minute. That's nothing new. Lawler's been in loser leave time before. But you got to be insane to think that you're going to put Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantell in TV on a loser leave time.
Did he or did he not come out here last week and say, Dutch Mantell, you're not in the same caliber as I am? Did he not say that? Did he not say that I bring out the best in everybody? Did or did he not say that?
He did.
Yes, he said it.
Yes, he
and
did.
If I'm not in the caliber of Jerry Lawler, then he should come out here like the big king that he is, like the big man that he is, and accept the offer. Now, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to wait on Lawler.
No,
and I want him to come out.
You know I have respect for your wrestling, and I know they've called you Dirty Dutch and a lot of things. I have respect for your wrestling, but you're letting your emotions get away with the whole thing.
Hey, I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy one bit. And let's just end it once and for all. It's either me or it's either Lawler. The place ain't big enough for both of us. I'm going to stand right here.
Okay.
I'm going to wait on him. I'm looking for that door right there. I want him to come right out that door.
We're going to take a break right here.
No, let's give him another minute. No, let's give him another minute.
You got a match coming up here, and that's it. Dutch,
no,
I appreciate the intensity of it. I know you want to take it.
That's another way you're trying to protect Lawler. You and Eddie Morris.
Lots of action coming around the territory before we hit Louisville Tuesday night. Let me go past this. Friday, April the 2nd, Lebanon, Kentucky, with the Gibsons and the Dream and Big Crazy Luke Graham and a bunch coming up. Thursday, April the 8th, Owensboro, Kentucky at the Sports Center. You're also going to have Thursday, April the 8th in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Thursday the 15th, Tell City, Indiana at the Brian Taylor Sports Center. The 16th, Ferdinand, Indiana at the Forest Park High School. And Thursday, April the 22nd, Bardstown, Nelson County Junior High School. Action coming up Tuesday night. Listen, The Dream and Bobby Fulton in a single. Emery and McCoy court against Monk and Angel. Fulton, Rogers, and Eric Emery against Graham, Dream, and the Two Hearts. Then a Southern Tag Team Championship match. Kern and Gibson will be challenging Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Brown Sugar. And then finally, the Southern Heavyweight title match when Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantell square it off to a battle of the finish.
Dutch Mantell, and everybody has seen it, and I know you've heard the expression, but you have just seen the classic example of a man letting his hummingbird rear end overload, or his alligator mouth overload his hummingbird rear end. And what I'm going to do with you, Dutch Mantell, is I'm going to put this belt right here, and we're going to have us a little wrestling match. That is exactly right, baby. And the winner of that match can come out here and pick up this belt, and he can call himself the king, and the loser can get himself a bus ticket and get the heck out of Memphis, Tennessee, or wherever. Can you understand that?
Yeah, but I'm not believing it. Well, it looks like we've got ourselves a loser leave town match with two of the hottest single wrestlers in the entire United States, Dutch Mantell and Jerry Lawler, Dave. Loser leave town. Lawler agreed to it. Put it up.
Belt's
There's
on the line. That's right. The Dutchman made the challenge, and son of a gun, Lawler came out here with the belt in hand and accepted. He's got Mantell stretched back into the rope, out on the apron, down on the floor. And the referee shoves him back as Mantell comes roaring back into the ring. Boy, we didn't have time for introductions, but none are needed.
Man, you got that right. The tough Dutchman out of Oil Trough, Texas, and he fires that big fist, puts Lawler down. Oh, these guys have just almost killed each other in their previous meeting.
Mantell round behind him. The belt awaits over here. It's on the line. The winner of it gets to walk out of here with a belt. Loser leaves down. Mantell, right hand. Lawler from the corner. Dutchman slapped Lawler in the back of the head a couple of times.
Really putting the steam on that wrist in there, too, Dave, is the only bad thing. Well, now he corrected. He had Lawler straight in the head of him. Dutch moves around to the side where he's a little less vulnerable.
Yeah, Lawler with that right arm standing right in front of him. Dangerous place to be. Back in the corner now. Lawler reverses a whip across the ring. Whoa! Caught him with a right hand, right under the chin. And the Dutchman got to be seeing a few scars after that one. Mantell back up into the ring. Boy, he just comes charging in there after Lawler.
Well, I tell you, both of these guys are so tough. It is just absolutely unbelievable. They get so keyed up about each other. And, you know, I talked to Jerry away from there. Uh-oh, look out. Lawler, bang, right on the top. Got a running start. Nailed Mantell hanging over the edge of the ring. Oh, little payback. Dutch did that to Lawler.
We're at about 2 minutes, 45 seconds so far. And this one, Lawler over the top row. He was not.
Okay.
All right. Down here on the floor. Ooh, Mantell smacks Lawler into the ring post. Dutchman with a chair. Referee trying to stop him, but he nails Lawler across the back with it. And Mantell rolls back into the ring. Lawler laying here on the floor.
Remember, Davey, a loser leave town. Both of them stated it right here.
Yeah.
Not only the belt, but loser leave town. Lawler being counted on. Dutch going outside on the apron again.
Lawler up on his hands and knees, and Mantell dropped off the apron. with a foot. Now Lawler crawling up to the ring. He's on the apron. Mantell grabs him by the hair, gets him in the ring, and a right fist. A cover by Dutch. 2. Oh, a 2 count on Lawler. Lawler 1 count away from losing the belt and leaving town. Mantell firing that big forearm. Back in the corner. Whips him across the ring. Lawler hanging on the turnbuckles there. Mantell after it. 4.5 minutes gone. A cover. 1, 2. Lawler kicks out at the 2 count.
Boy, Dutch low-bridged him in that corner over there, and almost again had Lawler beaten. I was talking to Jerry, I was saying, Dave, about it, and I said, why Dutch has had so many guys that you have had battles with? And he said, because he beat me for the Southern heavyweight title, and he has never forgotten that in his crawl. You can bet on that.
Boy, he did. He beat him right in the middle of the ring in one of those matches for the title.
Mantell looking very strong right now on Lawler.
Abdominal stretch by Dutch Mantell. No submission by the King. I tell you what, that's a hold that is one of the better ones to get a submission out of, but in a match with the stakes as high as this one, I think he's going to have to hold that hold all day to get a submission out of Lawler, or the other way around if Lawler should have that hold on Mantell. 5.5 minutes into the action.
Mantell still pounding down on the floor. Goes for Lawler on a pile driver on the floor. The referee, Jerry Calhoun. And Mantell jumped over as Lawler took him away.
Now it's Lawler with the chair. And again, payback time.
Mantell hurt. And no wonder. I am not believing it. Right here on Championship Wrestling. Shows you how these guys hate each other, Davey. Here, professional wrestlers doing it for nothing with the stakes couldn't be higher. Mantell and Lawler.
Lawler, right fist. Mantell swings back at it. And again, Lawler back in the corner. He got hit with that right fist, and Lawler. He dropped the top. Mantell does the same, and Lawler wades in there after him with the boot. He helps kick him on out of the ring and down onto the floor.
He is down on the floor. Lawler hollering down. Dutch coming over by the table. He's getting ready to watch the charge.
And Lawler timed it right. He had the foot right there. Mantell ran into the boot, and now the right fist, and Mantell out of the ring again. 7 minutes gone.
I do not believe the punishment these guys inflict to each other. Dutch Mantell. Back to, Dutch.
Wait a minute. Lawler, this is stupid, Lawler. This is foolish. I'm going to say one thing right now. That man in the ring right there is the toughest son of a gun I've ever fought in my life. You're the toughest, buddy. I'm going to give you credit. And this is stupid, Lawler. Come here. Come here.
Keep it moving.
My body can't take no more. I'm wore out.
Dutch.
Come here. Listen. This is stupid. This is foolish. Well, let this right here come between us. Hey, I want to make him an offer. I made him another offer. Come here.
Dutch Mantell trying to get Lawler to come down to ringside. Lawler asking, do you want to finish it? And Dutch says, no, I'm not finishing the match.
Oh, man, can I before?
Dutch over.
Hey, this is foolish.
Hey, okay.
We're up here killing each other, man. We're killing each other. I'm hitting him hard shots. He's hitting me hard shots. And eventually, it's not going to be no more Dutch Mantell. It's not going to be no more Jerry Lawler. Because in the long run, hey, look at it professionally, man. In the long run, we ain't going to be around here. We're going to kill each other. I said you're a tough man. Come here, come here.
All right.
Come here.
Dutch Mantell is just stopping and asked Lawler to...
Hey, listen. We've been beating our brains out for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is, right? And we used to be friends. We let this come between us right here. We used to be friends, right? Huh? Okay, we let it come between us. And every time we wrestled, Jerry, every time we wrestled, that First Family, at Midnight Express, they sit back in the dressing room, and they laughed their brains out because we made their life a lot easier. They loved to see us get up there and beat each other's brains out. They loved it. We made their life easier. And since we've been wrestling each other, Gibson's hurt, Dundee's hurt, the whole thing, man, is falling apart. So listen, I don't like to get laughed at. But hey, let's bury the hatchet. I got more to lose than you got to lose, okay? I'll concede. You take the belt, okay? I got more to lose than you got to lose. And I'll make you a deal. Why don't me and you team up and be a team, okay? And they ain't a team. They ain't a team in the country that can beat us. And you keep the Southern belt, and hey, we'll be back.
Boy, that might be the answer to the First Family right there.
Just say, hey, this is the same. You know, if you're, like you say, you're man enough to admit that I'm the champion. Right. You're man enough to admit that I told you the same thing after the second time we wrestled. I told him, I said, Dutch, Jimmy Hart, the Midnight Express, all these guys, every time we wrestle each other, they sit back and hope we kill each other.
That's right.
They want us to beat each other's brains out. And I told him then, I said, Dutch, why don't you and I get together and put some of these bumps and bruises on their heads, on Hart's heads, and on the Midnight Express's heads, instead of on each other.
All right. Now, I'll go for that. I think you ought to bury the hatchet and get together. What a tag team.
You keep the belt or whatever, okay? Can they change the card, put Dutch and I against somebody else like Hart in the First Family or something like that?
Well, Jerry, of course, I think that's open to negotiations, and promoter Eddie Marlin is no fool. He would love to have Lawler and Mantell together, so I can't say it, but I would certainly say that it's a money business, and by golly, he would...
Let me ask these people, do you think that there's any team around that could beat myself and Dutch Mantell?
Well, I think everybody agrees.
Show him right here.
That it would be a super... Oh, come on!
Dutch!
Where's the referee? Get somebody in here. Lawler nailed down Dutch Mantell, jumping him while they were in the very act of shaking hands. Mantell pile drives Lawler in there. Drops on him with the elbow. No way. You've got to be kidding. Dutch Mantell, who pile drive Lawler after hitting him with that chair, dropped with an elbow, then makes the 1, 2, 3 count. Dutch, I've seen a lot of lousy things in there, but that's the lousiest thing I ever saw involved in anything involved with you.
Excuse me, Lance. I think this belongs to me, and somebody needs to help Lawler find a way out.
Boy, I'll tell you. Well, Dutch Mantell, in a situation, just pulled the lowest thing in there. I'll tell you what, let's take time out, and we're going to be back here in just a moment.
It looks like Jimmy Hart coming in here as the manager. All right. And is everyone...
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, man!
Okay, Chuckles, let's move on. We've had enough for one day.
Let's do the introductions here. There's so many of them. Total weight of 892 pounds. These would be the guys on the right of the screen in general. From Delray Beach, Florida, Stan Lane. From Cloverport, Kentucky, Eric Embry. From Tampa, Florida, Steve Kern. And from Pensacola, Florida, Robert Gibson. Going against them at a total of 1,086 pounds. With their manager, Jimmy Hart, and also J.R. Hart Jr. is out here. Luke Graham from New York City. From New Orleans, the Dream Machine. From parts unknown, it's the Monk. And from France, the Angel. An 8-man tag team match. And this one goes to the expiration of time. The referee is Jerry Calhoun. Now we've got to figure out who is going to be starting on each side of the ring.
I believe it's going to be Eric Embry. This will be
All
our
right.
first look at Eric on Championship Wrestling, although his reputation has preceded him. And Steve Kern, no less, had said some very good things about Eric, so that's a good recommendation. On this side of the ring, closest to us, bell time, here we go. It'll be the Dream Machine and Eric Embry starting out.
All right. First look at Eric Embry. As Lance said, we've heard some mighty good things about him. He takes Dream Machine off his feet. Stalking each other around the center of that ring. Eric takes Dream down to the mat again, bars the left arm. Machine back up on his feet. Using the ropes, fires Embry into the ropes. Shoulder butt coming off of there. Dream Machine lets him go by, sets, Embry ducks under. Wow. Some great moves from Eric Embry. Dream Machine rolled him down into a head scissors, but Embry kept moving, and the Dream not able to set up on the hole. They're both back on their feet again. Embry into the ropes, catches the foot of the Dream Machine, spins him, nails him. Dream Machine hits the mat. That brought Jimmy Hart out of his chair. Unfortunately, it also brings him over here.
My matches for us, what I want to know.
Jimmy, please sit down and let us just cover the match here. Embry, wow, he had the foot. He committed himself, telegraphed that he was going to kick the Dream Machine. Dream grabbed the foot, and then Embry unloaded on him. Wow, what balance this guy's got. Like some of those good things we heard are absolutely true. Minute and a half into the action. Embry back to the ropes. Referee Jerry Calhoun wants a break. He backs the Dream Machine across the ring. Give Embry a chance to get on his feet. Dream with a headlock. Gonna drop with the knees. Embry was gone. Dream Machines to the corner and makes the tag on the Angel out of France. Big guy. He'll weigh in about 267, I think is his weight. Embry back to the corner, makes the tag on Stan Lane. Former junior heavyweight champion Stan Lane, the Angel, drops him with a suplex.
Now he picked Lane up like he weighed 5 pounds. Look at the Angel, baby. Looking good, Angel.
Angel with a forearm makes the tag, and here comes the Monk. Stan Lane off the ropes, and the Monk grabs him in a bear hug. Lane battling him. Oh, he smacked both those ears with his arms, but the Monk hanging on. Now it drops him to the mat. The Monk tags Crazy Luke Graham out of New York City. Luke with a hip toss. Backs to the corner, makes the tag on the Monk.
Maybe teamwork in the family. See, we don't have a lot of individual
The Monk with a forearm.
Dundees, man. My men think of each other. Look at them, all working as a team.
Stan Lane up in the air, body slam by the Monk. Monk makes the tag, and here's Luke Graham back in. 3 minutes, 15 seconds gone. Steve Kern in there after the tag. Luke Graham run into the corner. Steve Kern slides his feet off either side of Big Crazy Luke's face. Crazy Luke back to the corner, and Dream Machine tags. Yeah, Luke wasn't, Dream Machine just reached out and tagged Luke. All right, now the referee has disallowed the tag. Luke Graham's going to have to stay in there. Steve Kern over near his corner makes the tag on Robert Gibson. Gibson round behind Crazy Luke. Put the full Nelson on it.
One man held him and the other man kicked him. Now what is that, man?
Tag made by Luke Graham. Angel coming back in against Robert Gibson. Robert fired into the rope. Shoulder butt as he's coming off of there. Steps over. Went for the drop kick and missed it, and the Angel grabs him with that claw. He doesn't have it. He grabbed for him, but Robert Gibson grabbed him with both hands. And he held him off. Shoulders are down. Count of 2 on Robert Gibson. He's concentrating so much on keeping the claw off the top of his head. Count of 2 again, but Robert's able to bring the left shoulder up and stop the count at that point. 5 minutes gone. 5 minutes down in the first ball. The Angel gets the claw. Robert back up on his feet. Can he get to the corner and get the tag? No, sir. Angel throws him down to the mat. He makes the tag on Crazy Luke. Big 296-pounder out of New York City. And Luke Graham fires Robert Gibson into the rope. Backdrops him coming off of there. Follows with a foot. Graham tags the Dream Machine. A backdrop on Robert Gibson. Robert needs a tag on one of his partners. Robert slipped him. Dream, Jimmy Hart with the stick. And referee Jerry Calhoun saw it. He immediately called for the bell to be run.
You can't win with Calhoun in the ring.
You can't win when you're using a
Nailed
cane.
him with the stick, and it was
We
disqualification.
don't have a fair chance. Nobody cares about the family. We don't need anybody for our own.
Come on, Jimmy.
The referee made the call, and boy, did he make a correct call. He saw Jimmy Hart smack him with that stick over there, and immediately he said, ring the bell. This one's over. Disqualification. 6:02 the time on it.
6 minutes, 2 seconds. Jimmy Hart always screaming. He gets caught in there using a cane. Strictly illegal. The referee calls disqualification, and he gets hot about that because they did what they should have done. We'll be back in just a moment. More action.
Whoa, did I tell you? Some kind of championship wrestling program? Wild turn of events, my friend, and I'll tell you what, that won't be anything as compared to what's coming up on Tuesday night in the Louisville Gardens when Jerry Lawler and Dutch Mantell meet. It was bad enough prior to that, but with the Southern heavyweight belt on the line and son of a gun, after what happened on this particular program, I know that's going to be some kind of meeting, Jerry.
Well, let me just say, the people in Louisville have been asking me, Lance, for the past few weeks, why have you been talking about Dutch Mantell? Well, I guess now they realize what I've been saying. Every word that I've said about that low-life, stinking, slimy, backstabbing scum is true. Did you see what he did, Lance? Do you realize now he actually thinks with that pea brain of his that I am going out of town? Well, let me tell you something, Dutch Mantell. I'm not going, baby. I'm coming. I'm going to be coming right at you down there in that arena, and I'm going to get my hands around your neck, friend. I'm going to shake some, not your hand, but I'm going to get my hands around your neck, and I'm going to shake the life out of you, Dutch Mantell. You want to be friends? You don't have any friends. You've never had any friends, and you will never have any friends, Dutch Mantell, because I'm going to beat you so bad that you're the one that's going to leave Louisville, Kentucky. Now, I want you to say this. It's going to be no time limit, no disqualification, and no stopping the match. I don't care if it goes all the way outside on the street, Dutch Mantell. It's going to go until I leave you laying in the middle of that ring in a pool of your own stinking blood, and my hand is raised, and my belt is around my waist, and you're not ever going to want to see me, Louisville, or wrestling again, Dutch Mantell. I've had it up to here with you, and I'm going to finish you off Tuesday night, jerk.
The King and his manager, Danny Davis, he'll be there Tuesday night right there in the Louisville Gardens. And boy, I'll tell you what, miss any of them in the world, but don't miss that kind of a meeting. When Lawler and Mantell get it together to finally settle an issue that's really been burning. You be there Tuesday night in the Gardens. Now, golly, I said we're going to be back to action here, but checking our clock, we haven't got time for any more. What a wild day. Of all the incredible things in the world, to have had that Lawler-Mantell situation where Dutch insisted on a loser-leave-town championship match right out here. Lawler came out and said, brother, let's get it on. Dutchman comes out. After he beats Lawler's brains out with a chair and everything else, the son of a gun comes out. Lawler gets on him pretty good. He steps out of the ring, says, hey, this is enough of this. He had a good idea, I would say that. Boy, what a tag team they would make.
Then, in the midst of shaking hands with Lawler on it, he gloms him, barrels down on him with a chair, pile drives him in a ring, drops an elbow, counts him out himself, turns around, comes
Grabs the
over here,
belt.
picks the belt up, and tells Lawler go get a ticket and leave town on the thing as if he thought that. That was bizarre. I've never seen anything like that. The Dutchman absolutely letting his emotions totally run away and pulling a low-life thing like that. It was, to say the very least, a little irritating.
Yeah, no doubt. And also in the expiration of time 8-man match, disqualification on Jimmy Hart. That wrapped that one up. So Robert Gibson and his partners win it.
We're out of time. We've got a lot of exciting action. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week for Dave Brown, Lance Russell. Bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Championship Wrestling.